Hello, everybody. It's me, Virginia. I'm back from vacation and I am all refreshed and ready to get back to work bringing you the podcast that you have been apparently liking. I'm really excited that I get to read another 5-star review. And this one says, love the variety of this podcast. One episode, she talks housewives. The next, she talks household cleaners and food reviews. She is witty, and I like her spin on recaps. She's not afraid to cover TLC shows, and I like them too, so I don't have to search for another podcast to get caught up on my other shows. My other podcast friends turned me on to her, and I think you should listen too. Thank you, Variety Humorous. I think that's what the handle is, and I really appreciate the 5-star review. Tell a friend. I'm having a lot of fun. I have so much to tell you about. We're going to have a several part series on my almost 3-week vacation in Europe, and that'll be coming soon. But for now, I want to share this episode of my day with my son Cory and our taco crawl. That was our first ever, and we hope to do it again in different areas. But this one was a really fun day. We spent it back at the old neighborhood. We went to 4 different taco shops and we have our reviews and our thoughts in real time. Fair warning, the audio is pretty gritty. It's tolerable, but it's because we're in public places and there's a lot of noise in the background that we couldn't necessarily edit out. So I hope you'll bear with me because the reviews themselves are pretty good and we had a great day. And as a bonus, Cory watches Bravo shows. In particular, we got into a conversation about the Valley on the way back. So even though I was on my reality TV hiatus, this was recorded at the end of June. So our thoughts reflect only the episodes that had aired to that point. But I think you'll enjoy it. We had a great day. Our Valley talk got pretty juicy, so I encourage you to listen to that segment for sure. I hope you enjoy this podcast episode. I will be back with more of the summer series really soon. We'll cover the travel, of course, more food, and hopefully we'll be able to get to a family staycation idea that I've been wanting to share with you guys to close out the summer for the kids. So for now, let's talk tacos. Hello, everybody. Here we are on our taco crawl. It's me and Cory. Hey, Cory, say hi.
Hello.
We are on stop number 1 of our throwback afternoon to Pico and Whittier, and we are at King Taco in Pico Rivera, which I've never been to, by the way. I didn't even know there was one here. So let's take a look at the menu. We have tacos, burritos, sopes, nachos, tamales, quesadillas, and let's talk about our meat selection. Carne asada, al pastor, carnitas, chicharrón, cabeza, lengua, buche, suadero, and tinga de pollo. What are you thinking?
Carne asada is the classic. I feel like you gotta get a carne asada and maybe a al pastor for me.
Okay, I'll do a chicharrón
All right.
and a carne asada.
Fire.
Okay, as much as I would love to eat a million things here, we still have 3 other stops, so I'm going to try and show a little bit of restraint.
Is it on?
Yes. So my son just accused us of being cringe because we're trying to record in the middle of this restaurant.
2 microphones and a very thick cord. Yes.
Yeah, we do look a little extra, if we're being honest. Especially in the middle of Pico Rivera. People are wondering what the hell we're doing here. But
We'll tell them it's one of those SAP group, programs where we don't speak the same language, so we have to communicate through this machine.
Okay, so we ordered a taco asada, a taco chicharrón, a taco del pastor, and another taco asada, and a jamaica, and it was $14. And so far, the most surprising thing is that it's going to take 10 to 15 minutes to make 4 tacos.
There's a lot of people here, though. There are quite a few people here.
That is true.
But yeah, I'm excited for that carne asada. I feel like that's a standard, you know?
I think that carne asada is the standard way that I judge tacos everywhere I go. Like when I go to a restaurant.
Yeah. And that's it tells you a lot, too, because of the grade of meat they're using. You know what I mean? They use a lot of fat. They leave a lot of. If they don't trim it right, they leave a lot of that gristle.
Exactly.
You don't want that.
The food truck there's a food truck by the house that we went to that's really good actually, but don't get the asada. Everything else is good, but the asada.
Yeah, see, that's why I go for carnitas too a lot of the time. But carnitas is hit and miss because some places they fry it real hard or they
Right.
like let it get really dry.
Yeah, no, dry carnitas is the grossest.
Yeah, some
especially
places
if
and
they're
some
all, like,
places just
shredded up.
do the crock pot method, which is like the exact opposite, where they're just soupy and it's just too like, gelatinous.
So what's your perfect carnitas?
Somewhere in the middle of that. You want it to be like something that when you bite in, like it'll still hold a chunk, but when you bite into it, it falls apart, and then perhaps a few crispy bits.
So a little bit of
on
fry.
the end. Yeah, just a little bit of fry on the end. You know what I mean? You want little crispy parts, but not like a hard bite that's gonna get stuck in your teeth.
That's true. That's true. I like making carnitas when they're like in the oven. I like the oven method because then you can take half of them out and then you can leave the other half in and get them crispy and then mix them back together. So then you kind of get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
So this is stop number 1 of 4. Let me see where we're headed to next. Oh, Casa Garcia is next.
Yeah, I was assuming. I was like, we're in Pico, Casa Garcia. That's the nacho place. The green.
Do you remember?
Chile Verde. Yeah, because I had it when I worked out in Pico Rivera when I was like, I don't know, after high school at some point. But yeah, I had it more recently than childhood.
Really?
Yeah. So I remember it, and I remember it being just as good as I remembered
I didn't even
at that
know
point.
it was still there. I had to look it up this morning. So the story about Casa Garcia is that we used to go to this place called Taco Village in Montebello and on Beverly, and they were like the first place I ever remember that had like a salsa bar. So they were known for a delicious carne asada.
Nice.
But it was a carne asada burrito, very simple, just carne asada, beans, and then your tortilla. And then you could do cilantro and whatever from the salad bar if you want.
Okay.
Or the salsa bar. So we used to go there, and then for some reason, they didn't even change owners, but for some reason, the food changed. Like, the salsa was the same, but the proteins weren't the same. So we used to go there on the way to the drive-in theater.
All right, first bite of that al pastor. It's spicier. The salsa I put on it is spicier than I expected. But I guess it's been a while since I've had King Taco. Super delicious. But yeah, it's deep. And it had what looked like beans in the taco too, which was interesting.
It did have beans.
Yeah, a couple whole pinto beans in there. Bomb. Yeah, it was really good. The cilantro has a very few stems, which I appreciate. We took their time to trim it properly, it seems like. But yeah, it's really good. Really super good.
Very good.
I got to try the carne asada. Carne asada next.
Okay, so I just had my first bite of the carne asada. It has been a while since I have been to King Taco as well, but probably not as long as it's been since Cory's been. I put the salsa, the red one, on it. That, by the way, I have mastered and can get pretty damn close to at home. And so the meat quality is very, very good. The pieces are cut nice and small, not overcooked, not dried out. I taste a lot of lime, a lot of citrus, and the tortillas are nice and pliable, decent amount of meat, cilantro and onion, and I'm not mad at it. It's a pretty good carne asada taco.
Yeah, after that bite of the carne asada, which is like half the taco because they're so small, but they're so damn good. Yeah, after that first bite, it's just, the flavors individually, like you were saying, the lime, the onion, the citrus, they just really cut through the mix. It's really good. There's a reason this place is called King Taco, clearly. Their carne asada, it's going to be hard to beat that. I mean, that's...
I know. What if the first place we came to is bad?
Yeah, that's... I totally see that being a possibility at this rate. So good.
I guess my one complaint would be that they're very small and that I want
2 or 3 more. Literally like 2-bite tacos maybe, and they're I think $2.35 a piece, which the price point's fine for how much you get, but you just need to order more. I think if we were eating here and staying here, I'd have probably for sure another carne asada. Yeah, let me taste this chicharron and I'll let you know what I think. So, my takeaway with the chicharron is it's a little greasy. I'm enjoying the texture. I know that people who struggle with textures normally don't like chicharron. This has a different texture than normal chicharron tacos. What I can't put my finger on is the spice. It's probably clove or cinnamon. It has a little bite, but it rings a lot smokier than I thought it would. So I wouldn't say it's a miss, but I wouldn't say it's my favorite here. And, oh, by the way, note to self, don't wear a white shirt when you're testing tacos because I can guarantee I've already got 2 dots and we're at the first place. So I totally agree with you on the salsas. Okay, so let's do our takeaway. Okay, so here we are at King Taco, and we are in the middle of eating our nachos.
We are not at King Taco. We are at Casa Garcia.
We are at Casa Garcia. We have King Taco on the brain, and still tasting that taco from back there. But let's move on to this one. So we ordered their special Whittier the nachos. I said that with chile verde nachos. And the first bite, honestly, literally brought me back 20 years. Like if I had just had them yesterday.
Yeah, those nachos are classic. That chile verde sauce is, yeah,
Exactly the same.
it's great. The chunks of meat, the pork is so thick and it's just tender and just, it's not over seasoned. It's not drenched in the sauce. The sauce is just there like, almost like drippings of the pork. Like it's just there to really just flavor it. It's so good.
Okay, let's move on to the carne asada taco because that's basically our barometer, right?
Yeah, that's definitely our benchmark for overall quality. And I'd say the meat, to me, felt a lot just inferior in every way, I would say.
Absolutely, I agree. Although you did get more quantity here,
Oh, yeah.
the quality made the difference.
Yeah, just the flavor really is just it seems undersalted, and I don't really get like the hits of the citrus or the, seasonings that you would get.
It wasn't made like marinated enchilada style or anything. It was just
Right.
kind of salted and peppered.
Yeah, exactly. But it's still good. Still good. As far as carne asada goes, definitely good.
Yeah, no, I've definitely had worse. But, and I like that there's not a lot of gristle, so that's fair. There's not a lot of gristle. That's nice. But Cory was saying earlier that he's disappointed in the salsas.
Oh, yeah.
I am highly disappointed in the sauces. I think the green one's significantly better than the red one.
Yeah, the red one's just very, it's like one of those watery taquera style ones that you get that has just like, I don't know, just a lot of tomato forward flavor and not really any salt to kind of like blend the flavor of the tomato. Yeah, nothing really.
So our takeaway is I think our palates have become more refined since we used to come here. I would still do the nachos.
The nachos are incredible.
And I probably don't think we're going to finish this because we may or may not have added another spot onto our crawl. But for sure, get the nachos. Maybe pass on the taco.
Yeah.
Cory is literally reliving his childhood as we are parked on the corner of Morrill Avenue and Dorland Street. If you know, you know. Apparently, they still have the same window that we put in, and they still have the same screen door. They repainted the house a little more gray than blue. And as we pull up, the garage is open. Looks about how we used to keep it. And yeah, so Cory is thrilled that the new version of the La Sex shop is still across the street.
So tight.
Right next
So
door
tight.
to the Estilo Michoacan Carnitas. And is that a panaderia still?
Yeah, I mean,
Kind of, sort of, but not really?
more of a liquor store now.
Yeah. I see carnitas chicharrones.
It says y cocina, so maybe.
Okay, whatever. So yeah, we just came from El Atacor, and my son has literally lost sight of our whole adventure because he is really dealing with some major core memories that he can't see. He cannot seem to get past.
I'm fully submerged in my past right now. Look at that little window, that bay window.
The bay window, the second story window.
Remember when they put the gate in?
Yes, and it was a big deal.
Oh my god. What does Uncle Joey's room look like now? Excuse me, can I see your storage room?
Can we walk through your house real quick, please?
Excuse me, sir.
Oh my gosh.
It's amazing.
Okay, so we just came from El Atacor, which we just happened to add on to our little list of places because, well, it's nostalgic, and we started going there after we stopped going to Casa Garcia. Maybe because the meat was so prime.
Things are making sense now.
It's all starting to fit together. Okay, well, we ordered a carnitas taco and a carne asada taco at El Atacor, and it set us back a little over $6, and we're going to try it. It already has the salsa on it, but there is also salsa on the side. What are you seeing?
It looks good. It looks good. The meat looks light in color. Doesn't look like it's overly seasoned. Looks like it's going to be looks like it was slow cooked or put in some kind of it looks very juicy. Doesn't look overly fried. Feels firm though. Carnitas looks good. Give it a bite.
All right, let's see. Carne asada looks interesting. So there's a good amount of meat in here. Okay, Cory's filling the carnitas. That's a good look. Take a bite of the carne asada one. Here's more. Sorry, this taste test had to take place inside the car because, well, I'll put a picture of El Atacor on my IG and you'll understand.
Inside memory lane.
This is really wild. So we pull up to the house where I grew up, where I grew up as a teenager in, but it's definitely the house that Cory remembers his nana being in. And the guy who lives here pulled up in front of us and was walking into his house. So I guess we could have asked for a tour if we wanted to be super ghetto.
That's weird.
But it's very weird.
I'll just prowl around at night.
That's probably even weirder if I'm being honest. All right, so I'm going to hit pause and I'm going to take a bite of these tacos. I'll let you know my thoughts. All right, let's do our review on this place.
Wow.
Cory says wow.
Wow. We'll start off there. Yeah, the carnitas let's start there. Incredible. Exactly how I like it. Fried. You could still tell it was definitely fried in oil, so it had texture. It had, like firmness, I guess. I don't know, but it's not too soft, and it wasn't overly seasoned or salty where you kind of lost the flavor of the pork.
Yep.
It was very pure on the pork flavor, just straight up good. And the salsa they put on it was a good compliment. It wasn't too strong or overpowering.
Not too spicy, not too garlicky, so where it took away from the meat. I agree.
Yeah, just simple street style tacos, like very straightforward.
So, what about the carnitas? Oh, we already talked about that. Well, I didn't. My thought is that the carnitas were probably made like the caso, like old style, where they
what is that?
kind of stew them, and then they let the meat, why am I not using my words properly today? The juices will evaporate, and then it kind of makes its own fry.
Oh,
it's
okay.
like when you're doing chicharrones that way too.
Okay, so you like
pan.
purposely burn off all the liquid.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because that's where I'm getting the little edges, the little crisp edges. Whereas if you do that in the oven or if you deep fry them, then it's going to be that way all the way around, not just on the edges. So I am convinced that is why we stopped going to Casa Garcia, because the tacos across the street were so far superior.
These are good. These are really good. Yeah, the carne asada is. I'm torn between whether I like it better than King Taco or not. I mean, King Taco, of course, is like, my previous 9 out of 10, kind of thing to shoot for as far as taco places go when you're going for a street style taco. But this one it's just so well balanced.
It's definitely a completely different tasting taco.
Yeah,
Like it's not citrus forward.
yeah, King Taco's definitely flavor forward, texture forward. I feel like this one's just like an old school, more like just a
Like more
plain,
authentic, like
yeah,
something your Thea would make.
yeah, yeah, more home style feeling. Yeah, you taste the corn of the tortilla. You taste the that rich flavor of the beef. You taste the onion individual. Like you taste all the elements of it individually, and then you taste them as a whole. And it makes sense where the whole comes from, as opposed to a King Taco where you're like, how the hell did they get this flavor in this meat? This is really good.
I agree.
Yeah.
I also feel like maybe it's just the fact that it's an old school place and that they have like more seasoned kind of situations, like sometimes when you don't clean your grease as much, it's actually better.
Yeah. The lady that took our order at this place too seemed like she'd been there since the last time I've been there. Yeah, for at least 20, 25 years, as opposed to where at King Taco the guy was a young man speaking English to us, and
Correct.
like he definitely seemed newer. King Taco's, of course, more of a franchise as to where this place, is number 3. So who knows how many they have, but they definitely seem family owned, or at least give that vibe. It was very casual.
Was it ever? Like we didn't even know. There's literally 6 lines um, on the street when you drive in, and you have a choice to either turn into what we now know is the drive-through, but technically you could also just get off and walk up to the drive-through. So we didn't really even know what to do in the beginning, but she came out and helped us. So I guess anything goes there.
Yeah, I like it. Taco
I like it
stand
too.
more than
Yeah.
taco shop, but
Yes.
definitely kind of with the food to back that vibe up. So, and if it's all about the food, then at the end of the day, I mean, this place is winning for me.
All right. I'm with you on that so far.
Yeah, super delicious.
All right. Next place. Okay, here we are at Chema's Tacos on Whittier Boulevard.
Chemas.
This is definitely the throwback. It was right down the street from my old house. We used to come here for sure at least once a week. And
Yeah.
we ordered an obscene amount of tacos. My dad used to order like 8 just for himself. And probably, I can remember one time coming here and ordering 30 tacos. And that's not that unusual.
Yeah, I have classic memories of when we helped paint Nana's house and install the brick, coming here and everybody having and stopping for lunch. And that was the first time I felt like I had ever really earned a lunch, like I was one of the men working.
You had actually done your job
Yeah,
working.
yeah, that was a good time.
That was a big undertaking.
Yeah.
Your dad and I talk about that all the time.
And then we came out here after Thea's wedding too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we sure did.
Yeah,
This
see?
is crazy. So, okay, so we ordered a carne asada taco and a pastor taco. And this is the least expensive taco so far at $2.25, including tax. But this is also the first place that is cash only. I don't know if Atacor was because I paid cash, but I'm pretty sure that she was prepared to take a credit card.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't notice either. Now that you
Yeah,
think
I
of
didn't
it, they
notice
did have a
either.
drive-through, which would kind of imply credit card being a thing. I
Well,
don't know.
and it's a chain. There's more
Yeah,
than one, so I
yeah.
feel like they have to be set up for it. But all of that to say that this place looks identical to the way it used to look, like all the way down to the bubblegum machine. I think the only addition is the ATM machine. That wasn't
Yeah, I
here
like the
before.
art in here. The art's very just like flea market, old school, Nana's house. I love it.
Definitely been here since we lived here. And I'm proud to say that as of 6/15/25, they earned a nice, big, pretty green A from the Public Health Department. So that's good to know.
All right, Chemas.
Go Chemas. I'm not sure some of the other places we visited today could say the same thing, but
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, well, they look exactly like they used to look. And
All right. Right amount
I'm
of
very
salsa, right amount of
excited.
cilantro. Yep. Onions nice and small. Let's give it a bite.
all right. Okay, so let's talk about Chemas because sadly we felt compelled to not even do the review in the restaurant.
Yeah, I felt bad. I felt bad.
So I'm sure you guys can see where this is going.
Yeah, Chemas. I was not pleased. It was disappointing, to say the least. Yeah. R.I.P. Chemas.
Gut wrenching. Listen, this is a place that holds so many memories for me. Cory
Yeah. Apparently everything's better when you're hungry, I guess. I don't know.
Everything's better when you're painting.
Yeah. We must have been painting really hard that day.
Okay, so let's get into it. Now, we got a carne asada taco and a pastor.
It was
A
pastor.
carnitas. No, pastor. And it was, so we got 2 carne asadas and 1 pastor, and it was the cheapest of all at $6.75. They only take cash, but so the first thing that I noticed was there were salt shakers on each of the tables, and not salt and pepper, just a salt shaker.
Yeah, the old glass ones with the metal tops.
Uh-huh.
Haven't seen those in a long time.
And I didn't think about it at the time, but what was the very first comment you had after you tasted your carne asada taco?
Yeah, it was bland. It needed salt.
So we couldn't figure out what cut of meat they were using. The meat was cut differently, like almost like if it had been like butterflied or something. and
Yeah,
then
it was
chopped
cut in a
up.
weird against the grain type
Yeah,
of
it was
way.
weird.
Yeah.
It's like when you get a corned beef and you cut it wrong. Like it was like that situation.
Yeah.
And then it didn't have a flavor. I don't know.
I don't think it had a flavor other than meat. It really is what I would say. And it
tasted
wasn't.
like you said. The pastor tasted like the pan. Like
Yeah, I felt like you could really taste just like the oil essentially that the food was being cooked in, more the, yeah, like I said, the pan, just the grill. I don't know what exactly it was, but it didn't have like a strong flavor in any one direction. It just kind of had like an overall bland meat flavor. It needed salt, in my opinion.
And it certainly did not give. I've been marinated.
Yeah, no, it didn't. Yeah, no, the insides, especially like the the fattier parts of the meat that I did encounter were yeah, you could tell that there wasn't any seasoning on the inner parts of the meat at all.
Highly disappointing. And the pastor was like equally underwhelming, if you ask me. I was really put off by the cold salsa and the hot meat.
Yeah, when I took my first bite, that was the first thing I noticed immediately. Was just, I mean, I was waiting for the flavor of a taco to kick in, and all I got was the texture of meat, the texture of tortilla, and the taste of the cold salsa, which itself was bland as well. That needed salt.
It just tasted like tomatillo and cilantro stems.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, talk about stems.
a little bit heavy on the cilantro for starters, but then I'm eating and taco crawling with the cilantro stem snob, so it made it even worse.
I'm a cilantro guy. I make my own ceviches and salsas and stuff, and when I do, I always pick my leaves from my stems. I don't leave any of those thick stems in there. That leads to just bitter and just unpleasant mouthfeel. You know, you don't want that hard kind of chewy-ish texture. Yeah, it gets stuck in your teeth. You don't want that. No.
And it was giving that all day.
Yeah,
So,
a lot of stem. You could tell it was just quickly done. It wasn't done with a lot of, chef intention. It was done with more just kind of like a production
like
line, quick
mass
style.
Yeah, like exactly.
Yeah.
Like just putting out mass quantities. The interesting thing to me is there was somebody in there when we got there, and there were 2 other people that got there as soon as we got there.
Yeah, a little family came in. Yeah.
And one thing that I noticed that you couldn't see because your back was to them was as soon as the guy put their plates down, both the husband and the wife grabbed the salt without even tasting it. So that explains why there's salt on the table. Apparently, everybody thinks that their food needs salt.
Oh, I mean, maybe that's just more the old school style. I mean, I feel like that was way more common before. Like when I was younger, that food would just kind of need table salt. That was just kind of a normal occurrence.
Right, but how many restaurants do you go to nowadays that aren't a Denny's that actually have salt and pepper?
Yeah,
on
zero.
the
I can't think of the
Right.
last time I've been to a place and seen the salt and pepper shaker on the table. I mean, maybe for like fry baskets or things like that, but never really,
No.
never for your actual food. That's, yeah.
And if you do, like I've been places where it's like pitifully saltless, and I'm still like embarrassed to offend the chef and ask for salt and pepper.
Yeah, I would have been embarrassed if there wasn't salt on the table, but I mean, it's right there. So, yeah. I mean,
Clearly
I still,
he knows his shorts,
yeah.
his weakness.
Well, I mean, I still enjoyed that first. I mean, I guess I enjoyed the experience. I enjoyed the flavor of the tortilla. It was, tasted like corn.
Tasted
I mean,
like a tortilla. Interesting.
I'm struggling to find something positive that's not nostalgically related.
We just have to, say that this one is one whose time has passed. So, like you said earlier, we're gonna pour one out for Chemas when we get home.
R.I.P. Chemas.
We ain't ever going there again.
Much love to the memories. Much love to the good times. Some things you gotta let it burn sometimes.
What a fun afternoon. What a great time we spent. And what a disappointment that the most nostalgic of all places ended up being such a letdown. But we visited 4 taco shops. We hung out together. We made a lot of memories. We had a lot of fun conversations. And quite honestly, it was a great day. My favorite is still King Taco, but a very, very close runner-up was El Atacor. And the nachos at Casa Garcia are still something to go back into town for if you're ever in the neighborhood. However, I would pass on their tacos. You know how we feel about rest in peace Chemas, so I'll leave it there. And let's leave you with the conversation that Cory and I had on the way back home, where we talked about the valley. Part of the conversation is cut off, mainly because I was driving and we were trying to be safe, but you really only missed the Brittany and Jax portion of the conversation. And let's face it, we've all heard about those two ad nauseum, so you're not missing much. We pick up where we were talking about Jason and Janet and their relationship, and we'll just let you listen to the rest. Enjoy.
Charming about Jason is that he does have her back. Like, no matter what, he's Team Janet. But I do agree with you that as a partner, it's your obligation to tell your partner when they're not right. And if they're not going to hear it, then that's their right, but you still have an obligation to yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I do hear that. I think for me, what puzzles me the most is that he's an attorney, but then somebody said, somebody was talking, I don't know where I heard it, but they were talking really nasty crap about, Jason and Janet, as is everybody these days.
That's me, yep.
And they were saying that, what was it? That, oh, well, everybody who thinks he's such a great guy, then consider the fact that he's an attorney, and then ask yourself what kind of attorney he is. And he's a workers' comp attorney, and he represents the employer.
Yeah, you see, that makes sense to me.
They say, he's basically like a shark anyway.
Yeah, and he's putting a face on. I mean, the whole story, I don't know, didn't he used to date Sheena and all that?
Yes.
And so I don't know, him and Janet just both give clout chaser to me, and maybe that's just, what the producers and the
I feel like
editing room wants me to see.
I feel like it's the edit. But to be fair, Janet literally, she said, I did come here because I did want to be on reality TV, and I didn't come to try to meet Sheena to be on reality TV, but when I met her, I told her I watched the show and I was a big fan. And anybody who is on the show and says I've never watched an episode is probably lying, So on the one hand, say what you will about her, but at least she's being honest,
Yeah.
She is being honest. Now, where I thought she crossed the line was with regards to the whole Dark Side Danny and the tequila in the closet and that whole thing. I don't think she had any. I could understand her wanting to be like, hey, I saw something that I don't know if I should have seen and it made me feel uncomfortable. So as a fellow wife, I'm going to tell you, But the fact that it got drawn on for 2/3 of the season.
That whole shit was weird.
And that, the whole thing just kept coming back up is what bothered me the most.
Yeah, I agree.
To me, she was out of pocket. That was husband and wife business. And especially once Nia told her, hey, things aren't good. We went to therapy. We've worked through this. And that's when you're okay, so you've acknowledged it's a problem and you guys got this. Thank you very much. Even then, I thought she went, too far.
Yeah, I don't think Nia really ever acknowledged it in a serious way. I think Nia can only be Nia, and she can only, portray what she wants to portray. She's very good at sweeping things under the rug, as some would say. You know what I mean? She's
So do you think that Nia is just like media Miss America trained?
yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so
100%.
So
And
do I.
Danny is a goofball because he's Mr. Disney Channel. You know, my wife grew up watching him on Disney Channel. He's still that same character. When a camera gets on, he only knows one way to act. He's been trained since a young age to act a certain way in front of a camera. And that's the, golly shucks, look at me. I'm going to fall over and do something silly.
Right, but we're seeing a different side of him this season. We're seeing that, you know.
They're trying to paint him as a villain because Michelle's mad. And Michelle has every right to be mad. But Michelle also has every right to state her true intentions and be consistent with the way she's portraying her feelings, and to be wishy-washy and stuff. That, you know, that kind of gets me into my Michelle talk, where I feel like she just wants to be in the middle of the drama. She just wants the cameras pointed at her, is my deduction of it all, because it seems like whenever there's an opportunity to bring up something dramatic, she takes it, you know?
Are we talking Michelle or Jasmine?
Yes, I'm sorry, Jasmine.
Okay, because I'm thinking Michelle's got that personality, but I would say that exact same thing about Jasmine.
Yeah, no, Jasmine. Jasmine.
Exactly. Jasmine, to me, I'm really disappointed with. I like Jasmine, like a lot. I've liked her ever since like the old days.
Yeah,
and
last
I
season
even
she
watched
was my favorite character.
I even watched her on Bachelor and like all of those things. So, what my struggle has been is that it seems to me like I was really excited that she was going to be full time, that they were going to show her with Melissa, we were going to be able to see their life, and then all we got was like angry black woman. Like, it's just like, why is she always like, every single storyline she has had, she's pissed off. And I don't understand if she was brought on, allegedly, and nobody come at me, but if she was brought on to be the token person of color.
Yeah, you kind of, when you said it that way, it kind of clicked to me just as you said it in that moment. About, like, is that every storyline that she seems to have.
Yeah, why she always gotta be so mad? And that's not her personality.
It could be the edit.
I think it's the edit. And that's unfortunate because there's so much more that could have been done with that storyline. I mean, there's so much to learn about them, too. The only thing we know is that they met back east and that they've been together for 4 years.
Yeah, but what's your girlfriend's name again?
Melissa,
Jasmine. Yeah, Melissa seems kind of boring to me. Melissa, I don't know.
She does seem kind of boring, but she's also real. Like that
the
one.
Only thing
that
that,
one
the
time
only
when
thing
she
we
walked
had
away and she was like, "You guys are all fucking crazy."
Yeah, that's the only thing we have about Melissa too, is that she just doesn't seem to like the rest of the group. I don't know. They're kind of.
You think they're kind of boring? You think they're going to be back next season?
I don't know if they really want Melissa.
All I gotta say is I was very disappointed. I've been disappointed with how the season has unfolded with regards to Jasmine and Melissa. I expected something completely different.
I think if you look at the way the intro sequence kind of takes place and the way the pairings are, that kind of that's kind of apparent where the rankings are and the groupings that they kind of want to show or at least portray, you know. So I don't know. Jasmine kind of seems like an afterthought. Her and Zach are just kind of like, hey, these are the fun Kramers that come over for an episode and do something fun or wild.
What's different is that I've grown to learn more about Zach. Like, Zach's character has evolved through the season. We've seen different parts of Zach. Like, he came on and he was like super whiny and super like emo because of the whole breakup with Brittany and how he was being treated. And then he kind of got to the point where he was a little bit more empowered and a little more resolute with what's been going on. And now that Benji's here, he's like, now I'm in my own little world, you know? And so I'm curious to see what more we learn about his storyline this season. But I think that Zach has definitely gotten a much more likable edit than Jasmine did.
Yeah, agreed. Definitely. I don't think that's up for debate at all.
No. And I think that Zach expressing his behavior, his feelings of how Brittany feels towards him and how she's been treating him has really backfired on Brittany, because Brittany was very well liked, and the only reason that she has been well liked recently is because of how crappy Jax is.
Right.
But if you take Brittany for her behaviors on her own this season, not a good thing. Not a
Yeah,
good
no.
thing. She's not likable anymore.
No, the only thing I could say positive about Brittany is in defense of something bad Jack said about her, really. Like, I wouldn't go out of my way to say, like, when asked about Brittany, anything I could say would have the, any sentence I could say would have the word Jax in it, basically.
Well, I could say she's a pretty good mom. Like, she seems
Yeah,
very
but you wouldn't
in
just
tune.
off the street. I don't think off the street you would say, "Oh, that woman's a good mom." I think you would only say that because you hear Jack say how bad of a mom she is, or implies how bad of a mom she is. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, she doesn't.
Yes and no. To be
I don't
fair,
know.
the reason that I think she's a good mom is because I listen to her podcast from time to time, not all the time. But mainly I say that because of how she has handled Cruz's diagnosis and all the things that she's kind of doing. Like, she's automatically gotten herself involved in these groups so that she could learn more. And, she's wanting to explore that side of her and volunteer. She made his room all sensory, all of those things. And a lot of times people, I feel that there are a lot of parents who know that their kids have certain needs, and
I'm not forgetting about the antebellum days or whatever all that scandal was.
good
I'm sorry.
point,
I'm
good
sorry.
point, good
I'm
point.
sorry.
No, you don't need to be sorry.
You know what I
It's
mean?
Totally,
Like, I don't know.
Totally
Just Britney's,
a realistic concern. I mean, listen, it takes a special person to be married to Jax. Like, you got to be cut from a certain cloth. So,
I don't think it's a sign of strength. I think quite the opposite.
but I'm saying it sarcastically.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
saying
yeah,
like it takes a certain kind of human being to be able to be married to that piece of work. And it's really sad because the Valley has, like, I've never really liked Jax, but the Valley has made me really loathe Jax. And I'm sad because
Yeah, he was so much more likable when you just knew that he was just
that
like
he
a
was
reckless
just,
cokehead.
Yeah, and then that was just who he is.
It was so funny, like all the memes of Jax's big eyes and his gritted teeth and his, like, that was so funny. It was just funny. It was funny when Vanderpump was just a bunch of drunk 20-something-year-olds fighting each other and sleeping with each other and sleeping with each other's boyfriends, and it's it was hilarious back in those days.
I think that's why you're enjoying NYC.
Yeah, well, because now it's just sad. Now it's just a bunch of older
people who have no business
30s and 40s, just former glory people, failed actors, and it's just sad.
It reads desperate. Like, for me, that one episode when not the one after, but when they first showed up, where Lala told Jesse off.
Oh my God.
That was so lame.
She's ridiculous.
And Sheena was just standing there, like, just to be on camera, literally with nothing to say.
Yeah, they both kind of, I feel like, are just clout chasing at that party to begin with.
The whole season. So the word on the street is that they are probably going to be invited back to be
permanent.
Yeah.
Good. They should be. I hate Brock, though. I can't stand Brock.
Oh, I like Bob the Builder.
No, he looks like a jackass with his drawn-on hair. It looks like, oh my God, he's terrible.
I just think he's a good guy. Like, I don't, whatever how he looks.
Didn't he, like, beat his wife's ass? Like, what the fuck? Back in the day? Like, nah, bro, I don't know.
Okay. So
Good guy.
when you beat your wife's ass, you automatically
and
lose.
And are forced to flee the country and not see your kid because of it?
I didn't know about the beating thing. I just thought that he was, like, an absent father.
He admitted on camera to slapping her on some type of finale that I've seen.
Oh, I didn't know that. I don't think I caught that.
Yeah, and he did time over it, and he couldn't see his son over it, and there was a restraining order and shit. All these people are crazy ass people.
I know.
I'm sorry.
But they've got us watching.
I know.
To be fair.
Can't have a reckless person like me on your reputable podcast who's just going to say all kinds of crazy shit.
No, that's half the fun. That's half the fun. And that's why it is a one host podcast with occasional guests.
Right on.
Well, thanks for talking to me, Cory. I've had a really great day with you, talking the Valley, eating tacos, and we'll do it again soon. Obviously, all of the statements made are alleged, and this is just our opinion. Don't come after us. You're entitled to your own. But that's half the fun of doing this is sharing opinions with one another, having different perspectives on the people that we watch week to week. I'm still somewhat on my hiatus, but I'll start to get caught up, and I'll be back to talk to you more about Europe and our summer series. I'm really glad that you took the time to listen today. I've missed you. I'm glad to be back, and I appreciate your time. Enjoy your week, enjoy your day, enjoy your life. I'll be here living on the verge.